And we were just talking about with Wilbon about just getting the coach right. And Waddle brought up again the point, you got to let the general manager generally manage. Mm-hmm. And you don't think of George. George always goes, I'm just a fan. I'm not a football evaluator. But the way
I'm just a stop sign. And when you come to my office and ask for $19 million a year for a head coach, I'm going to put up that stop sign.
Yeah, so whether it's that or let me give you a little history. So, of course, in 1987, I believe the year was, when all the front offices are getting bigger, the Bears decide to eliminate the general manager's position. So they're the team without a general manager for years and years and years. That is until they hired Jerry Angelo, and I believe the year that he was hired was 2000. So he inherits as general manager Dick Duran as the head coach. Dick Duran in 2000 is on the hot seat. And the instruction given to Jerry Angelo as the team's first general manager since 1987 is ride for a year with Dick Duran and don't make a change now. And then you can make a change next year. So his first year on the job is 2001. What do the Bears do in 2001? They surprise everyone, and they win a bunch of games, and they win the division.
13-3, did they go 13-3?
I believe they were 13-3. They win the division. And so now Jerry Angelo, after inheriting Dick Duran and not allowed to change the coach right off the bat when Dick Duran was already on the hot seat, is forced to give Dick Duran a contract extension because they just won. So now, all of a sudden, a couple years later, the Bears go back to what they're supposed to be. They're bad. And a couple years later now, he fires Dick Duran, and he hires his own coach finally in Lovie Smith. Okay? So Lovie Smith and Angelo are together for a bit. Finally, Angelo gets fired. Lovie is still the head coach, not on the same timeline again. Phil Emery gets hired. Phil Emery is the new GM, wants his own coach. What does management say to Phil Emery?
Can't. Not allowed.
You're not allowed to fire Lovie Smith. Well, wait a minute. You just hired Phil Emery. You got to ride with him for a year. So now all of a sudden, Lovie goes 10-6, doesn't make the postseason. He's got in his mind already that he wants to fire Lovie and he wants to get his own coach. So he fires Lovie, hires Mark Trestman, he bypasses Arians. Bruce Arians, with the Trustman thing. So a few years later, they're both blown out. Now, all of a sudden, you go to Ryan Pace. You hire Ryan Pace. But he was hired with Ernie Accorsi. What does Ernie Accorsi say to him? You're not allowed to hire your own general manager. You're too young. You're a new GM, but you're not allowed to hire your own head coach.
Ernie's not even an employee.
No,
He's a consultant.
Ryan Pace is the new general manager. He is forced in an arranged marriage to hire John Fox. So now you've got Pace, who doesn't want John Fox, and that's how eventually Fox is stuck with Trubisky, and he's left in the dark. Pace can't wait to fire John Fox eventually. Then you've got everyone on the wrong timeline. The quarterback, the head coach, he hires Nagy. You know, they do it again by drafting the quarterback in the wrong time. And then, again, now you hire Ryan Poles. You start, though, by interviewing coaches before general managers. It's all backwards.
I got a headache.
And this is what I mean. Like, they're not viewed up there as, again, what they do in Dallas. But they're doing the same thing. They're not allowing their general managers to generally manage. They're telling them that they can't fire a coach when they want to fire a coach. They're telling guys that they can't hire a guy when they want to hire their guy.
They're just not as public with their meddling.
Yes, and it's all a confusion. Was Ryan Poles paired with Matt Eberflus, or did he really want Matt Eberflus? Did he want to fire Matt Eberflus at the end of last season? That's another confusion. Did he want to fire Matt Eberflus sometime earlier this year and when it was not allowed to? Another confusing part, because they are a dysfunctional organization. And until they figure this out on the George McCaskey level, they will not ever get this right.
It's so disappointing because this was a year that was filled with hope and joy, and we finally got our quarterback, and how great is this going to be? They're 4-9. They've lost 7 in a row, and you can make a really good case that this is an unlikable team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this what you thought you were going to get for Christmas?
This was going to be a great ride.
This was going to be
like the ride to the top is the best. The first winning year with a new quarterback who has proven himself. Like, remember, he was supposed to be the diva. He's been the one guy who hasn't been the diva.
He's the most impressive guy in the building in front of the press.
Yeah.
Which is comforting to me.
Yeah.
It's condemnation of a lot of other people in the building.
Yeah.
But it's comforting to me knowing that he's going to be around for a while. Is he perfect? No.
Yeah.
He missed some throws on Sunday, the way most quarterbacks do. He took a couple of sacks. He didn't get rid of the ball as quick as he should have at times. But, I'm thrilled that he's the quarterback for this franchise. It just would have never, maybe again, this is where I say to myself, shame on us for being hopeful, because history tells us that this is ultimately your football destiny, that they'll pick you up for a short period of time, but then you're going to fall flat on your face.
So I like Kevin Warren, if you're listening, I come to you, as Danny Zetterman would say and Howard Stern would say, with peace and love. I have no ill intention here. I urge you to please do your history, to please understand where the Bears have failed in the past. And if you really want to get this right, understand that if you're going to let someone hire the coach, let them hire the coach. Don't put any parameters in place. And learn from the franchise's mistake of the past, because these are all the reasons why the Bears are the Bears.
And go ahead and build on Arlington.